Oh, baby, let me know how to solve this new homework for accounting 2302. So hit me, baby, one more time. Boom! Bringing you the greatest in the toppiness of the homework for accounting 2302. This is your host, Professor Naragon, bringing you the greatest track hit of chapter 18. So let's start this off, and it's going to bring us break-even point. Woo! So we're going to have Zalco. They're going to have fixed costs of $483,000, and they only sell one product, which is easy. Don't have to deal with the sales mix yet. We have $195 per unit, and variable costs of $126 per unit. Determine the break-even point. Well, best thing to find the formula is go back to your notes. Formula is right here, and this is going to be fixed cost divided by our contribution margin per unit, or basically per unit price minus variable cost per unit. So while we can put this all in one formula, some calculators hate this, so I'm going to go ahead and do the contribution margin per unit. So 195 minus 126 is 69. Now, you can put this all in one formula, but please put parentheses around the subtraction. If you don't, most calculators are going to do orders of operation, and they're going to divide before they subtract. Always happens. So just be careful. Use parentheses. So next, we're going to take the 483,000 and divide by 69. It says we need to produce about 7,000 units. Okay, let's hit check my work, make sure we did the math correct, and we did. 7,000 units. Rock on. Rock auto. Okay. Alright, now Zal's coming back. It wants to know what this kind of fixed cost of $378,200. Its single product sells for $179 per unit, and variable cost is $118 per unit. If the company expects to sell 10,000 units, compute its margin of safety in dollars and as a percentage of expected sales. Alright, so back to the notes. We're going to find margin of safety, which is right here. First thing that we're going to have to do is figure out break-even sales. We have to figure out that in order to get it. So, check our notes. Let's find break-even sales. Here we go. So this is the ratio. Okay. So, what was my ratio? Well, it was contribution margin divided by price per unit. Okay. So, first thing we gotta do is figure that stuff out. So, let's figure out our contribute ratio first. So, if we get 179 minus 118, again, you also got the cool hint button here. 179 minus 118. Make sure I got all those in. 179, 118, cool. It says our contributing margin per unit would be 61. So we have to take that 61, divide it by 179, and it says our ratio is about 0.34. Now it's okay to round. It's going to work. Usually if it's off by a few dollars, well, $1 or $2. Connect usually is good at rounding, okay, because it's hard to actually do it. But usually 2 decimal places will be good. Okay. So next, to get our break even, we take 378,200 and divide it by 0.34. Alright. So something's not right there. Let's check our formula. That's fixed cost, yeah. Woo! Okay. Yeah, that should be about right then. Okay. So we need to sell 1,112,352.94. Let's keep it like whole numbers. Shouldn't be too bad. Okay. 10,000 units. Their expected sales that. We're looking at dollars. So 10,000 units times 179 says that we should sell about 1,790,000. Okay, so now we take our expected sales 1, 2, 3, 4 minus our break-even sales 1,112,352 says we should have about 677,648. Again, expected sales minus break-even sales. So 677,648. I hate when Connect gives all these decimals and stuff, and we'll throw things off pretty easily. But that should be almost right. And it's probably a rounding error with me. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, I think it's a rounding error. This is usually the question that ends up happening. Because if I try and take all of this, it's going to make it a little bit difficult. So let's see if we can get a little bit more accurate. Because I rounded. I'm still doing the right stuff. Okay. So if we took in 352.94, we're down to 7. Let's see if 7 was the right one. Maybe I rounded and change my dollar around just a little bit. Huh. Connect is being mean to me on this rounding issue. So let's see if I can take this. Control copy. Maybe they want really specific. Well, that did bring out a completely different number. Okay, 680,200. Check. There we go. Apparently it did not like me when I rounded that percentage. Alright, so learn that about Connect. Don't round the percentage like I just did. Don't do that. I mean, technically that would still be correct if you did that on the exam or anything like that. I would actually take that because I would figure out the numbers that way too. So that's kind of mean on Connect, but you can't do anything about it. It's a good way to learn through these videos that this is how Connect really wants it done. Because me, I'm going through the same process as y'all. Alright. So let's look back. We have find the percentage. Expected sales minus break-even sales divided by expected sales. So this is basically the 680,200 divided by our expected sales, 179, 1212, and it should be about 38%. And check, and everything's correct. We're still good to go. Now we can move on to our next item on the list. Alright, so question 3 wants us to do the contribute margin income statement. Okay, it's got our fixed costs. It has our single product sales, 187 per unit, and variable cost of 122 per unit. Company expects to sell 10,000 units. Prepare a contribute margin income statement for the year December 31st. Alright, so contribute margin in itself is going to be my sales minus variable cost. Now equal to contribute margin less my fixed cost, and that will equal probably a net income. I seriously doubt they're going to throw a net loss at yet. So sales in itself is 187 times 10,000, which is 1,870,000. Okay, variable cost is 122, or if we actually went through the whole process, 1, 2, 2, add 4 zeros, so that's 10,000. It'll automatically subtract. Notice this. Connect says didn't say put them as negative numbers. Just put the number in as it is. Okay. So fixed cost was 429,000. We should have had a net income of 221,000. And we're right on the money. Everything's good. Kosher sauce. Okay. Question 4. Zao Company has fixed cost of 455,000. Its single product sells for 191 per unit, and variable costs are 124 per unit. Compute the level of sales in units needed to produce a target pre-tax income of 134,000. So going back to our formulas, we're doing target. Okay, and they want to know units. So target income in units is our fixed cost plus our target income divided by our contribute margin per unit. So for this, fixed cost plus our is 455,600. 455,600 plus 134,000 for our target income. Again, if you're having trouble seeing these, let's see. There we go. That should have blown it up just a little bit. Oh, a little bit too much. Alright. So, right here. Make sure again, and you're putting stuff in calculators that does have a plus or minus operation, put them in parentheses. This helps you in the long run. So 191 minus 124. Equals about 8,800 units needed. Okay. And we are correct. And here's blown up versions of the last few. So again, number 3 you want the contribute margin. So it's always sales, variable cost, contribute margin. So sales minus variable, contribute margin minus fixed cost, net income. And the other two we just solved on our own. Okay. Question 5 is going to have us do a couple of things that we're going to have to figure out. So let's start with number 1. Again, it wants basically a contribute margin income statement at break even. Okay? But still it follows the same path. Sales, variable cost is contributing margin, fixed cost, and net income. Okay, let me go out just a little bit. And we're going to figure this stuff out as we go. Blank Card Company manufactures a single product that sells 120 per unit, whose total variable cost is $84 per unit. The company annual fixed cost is $529,200. Okay, so $529,200 we can already put in, and we know this is going to be $529,200. Alright. So either way, our contributing margin has to equal to 529 if they want at break even. Remember, it has to be 0 if we're just doing break even. Alright. So, sales in itself, we have to figure out, well, basically we can figure out contributing margin ratio. Again, this is doing these 3 steps right here. So we gotta figure out our contributing margin ratio, which in itself is again price per price, 120 minus 84, and then 36 divided by 120, and it's 30%. So if we take 529,200, with 529,200. See, this is why you always check, especially since I can only use windows in the same thing. It's a lot harder. Okay, 529,200 divided by 0.3. Sales should have been 1,764,000. Okay. So with that being said, all we have to do now is take 174,600, the sales minus the contributing margin. Should say variable cost was 1,234,800. Make sure I transfer that correctly. 1,234,800. Yep. Okay. Now, percentage of sales. Well, it should be 100%. And basically, since we're getting to 30%, we already figured that out. That should have been 70. Just to be honest on that one. Check. Everything is kosher with number 1. Cool. Again, that's to break even at 0. And that's all it is going into your notes and going back through these steps. But we're just putting 0 here and then working our way backwards. Number 5 says, assumes the company's fixed costs increased by 132,000. What amount in sales dollars is needed to break even? Well, our numerator is always our fixed cost. And it's always total fixed cost. Watch out for that fixed cost per unit. Our denominator for sales is the contributing margin ratio. Okay. Remember, they want dollars. Okay. So if it raised by 132, we have to take 529,200 and add 132,000. How much? 132. So we have 661,200. And our contributing margin ratio, we already found out, was 0.3. And oh, they wanted percentage. So 30%. That seems about right. I love that when Connect does that. I'm still stuck on 0.3. Okay. But it was 30%. And we should have about 2 million. Let's check. Everything's good. Cool. Only 10 more questions to go. Yay! Alright, so Blanchard Company manufactures a single product, sells for $160 per unit, and whose total value cost is $128 per unit. The company annual fixed costs are $464,000. Management targets an annual pre-tax income of $80,000. Assume that fixed cost remains $464,000. Alright, so first one, we're going to try and figure out unit sales to earn the target income, which is fixed cost plus the pre-tax, divided by our contributing margin per unit, or we check our notes. And it doesn't hurt to always check your notes. I mean, the formulas are there just to help you all out. Okay? So again, there they are, units. And here it is for sales dollars. So I can always put this in. And fixed cost plus product in divided by the contributing margin ratio. So again, we gotta figure out what is the contributing margin and the contributing margin ratio. So 160 minus 128 equals about 32. So again, price per product minus variable cost. So that's 32. And you're going to see it will fill out the stuff as we go. The contributing margin ratio, it's going to be that 32 divided by 160, our selling price, or about 20%. Okay. Next, all we got to do is figure out fixed cost plus our pre-tax. Okay. So our fixed cost is 464. We have 80,000 right here. We're going to add the 2, which is easy to put as 1, 2, 6, 4, 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 6, 4, 1, 2, 3. And 8 plus 4 is 12. So it's really 1,264,000. Check my work. Everything's correct. Boom, there's our targets. Question 7. Blanchard Company manufactures a single product that sells for $486 per unit and whose total variable costs are $365 per unit. Yay! We're going to do more fun stuff. It looks like we got a margin right here. So let's see if they make it a little bit easier for us. Maybe it processes a little bit more. The company's annual fixed costs are $624,000. The sales manager predicts the annual sales of the company product will soon reach 39,400 units, and its price will increase to $537 per unit. According to the production manager, variable costs are expected to increase $385 per unit, but fixed costs will remain $624,000. The income tax rate is 20%. What amounts of pre-tax and after-tax income can the company expect to earn from these predicted changes? Alright, so since we're doing that, we're doing with the predicted changes. So this first line is thrown out. That's what it's currently at. We're predicting more units at different price points. So again, this is our sales. This is our variable cost. And units that we're thinking we're going to end up selling now, 39,400. And it says the sales price is going to increase to $537. And variable cost is going to increase to $385. Notice Connect is already trying to solve a lot of stuff for us. So contribute margin in itself, 537 minus 385 is 152. Okay. Next is our fixed cost, which stays the same at 624, 123. This is known as income before taxes. Here comes income tax. And either way, it's going to have net income. Okay, so we're going to have to take that 5,364,800. So 5,364,800 and times it by our income tax rate, which happens to be 20% or 0.2. So that's going to be 1,072,960. So 1,072,960. Okay, it says net income should be about there. Check. Everything's good. We're awesome. Okay. Pretty much halfway done. So here comes the high-low method. Yay. High-low. High-low. It's off doing the homework. So, Felix & Co. reports the following information about the unit sale and cost of sales. Here they only have periods instead of months. Okay. So, they really want us to fill in all the high-low stuff. Okay. So, high-low method, of course, is calculated based on the highest production and the lowest production. Here, very easy. If we sell 0, we're done. So, and this is already in the highest production right here with period 10. Okay. So, complete the table below to calculate fixed cost and variable cost sales using high-low. Okay. So, the formula in itself, of course, should be the change in cost. Let's look back at the high-low. Hello, hello, hello. Where are you? Should be right here. So there we go. Change in cost divided by change in units. So our change in units. And this is change in volume. Okay. Let's see. Cost at high point minus cost at low point. And this is volume at high point minus volume at low point. So here we go. Basically, cost is 9372 minus 2640. $9,372 minus 2640 equals 6,732. Okay, and then divided by basically 3740. Doesn't change since the other one's 0. So variable cost per unit should be $1.80. Let's make sure everything's correct. Yep. Everything's good right there. Return. Okay. So total cost at high point. Total cost was 9372. Okay, volume was 3740. Alright, total variable cost 3740. It's going to be times by $1.80. 6732. All this now is just showing you that no matter which way we use, the high one or the low one, that it is actually the same cost. So 9,372 minus now our variable cost of 6732 equals 2640. Okay. Next is the low point. So total cost at the low point was 2640. 0 and it should be 2640. So no matter what, should be that correct. And everything's good. Okay, cool. So this one is mostly just fill in the blanks, but the first main part is the formula itself. So make sure you know the formula for the high-low method. Alright. Question 9. Blank card company manufactures a single product that sells for $135 per unit, whose total variable costs are $108 per unit. The company's annual fixed costs are $440,100. This one's just basically computing all the contributing margin, ratio, and break even. So, again, contributing margin is sales per unit less variable cost per unit. So this is 135 minus 108, which is going to be 27. Okay. Here, once you choose the denominator, which is now our contributing margin per unit, divided by our actual sales per unit. So 27 divided by 135, which is 20%, which is cool. Brings it out. Company's break-even point in units is fixed cost divided by contributing margin per unit. So fixed cost was 440, 100 divided by 27. So this one's actually pretty easy. We've already done this pretty much going on through the whole thing. So denominator, of course, is the ratio. So 440, 100. Now divided by a ratio of 20. And that should be it. And everything's good. So this problem right here is just a repeat of everything. It just wants you to put in the formulas and actually produce. But Connect eventually ends up doing most of the work for us. All it ends up becoming is a plug and play. Okay. Question 10. It says Balloon Company Management predicts that if it will incur fixed costs of $253,000, earn pre-tax income of $395 in the next period, and it's expected to contribute margin ratio of 63%. So now it wants us to compute the total amount of dollar sales and compute the amount of total variable cost. Okay, so total dollar sales. So numerator. This is actually pretty interesting right here. Alright, there we go. So sales in itself is basically contributing margin. So it's not the contributing margin ratio. Fixed cost plus pre-tax, that's what it is. Okay, divided by contributing margin ratio. Okay, so first we gotta figure out 253, 123, and 395, 900, what they equal to. $395, 900. Okay, 630, 900. Okay, and divide by the ratio 63%. Okay, equals to 1,429. Check. And it says that my math is wrong. So I must have mixed up some numbers here. Let's check. 2, 3, 5. Yep, I mixed 2. 6, 4, 8, 900. And that's again the advantage of check my work. It lets you know if there is a math error. It happens, we're human. So no biggie. Okay, so back to here. Required 2. Now we just figure out variable cost. So sales in itself comes from required 1, 1,030,000. Fixed cost was again 253,000. Pre-tax income was 395,900. And basically all you're doing is taking everything, taking fixed costs and pre-tax and subtract them from 1 million. Okay? Here 1 million, what was it? 30,000 minus 648,900 should be 38,100. Okay, and where did I get that was basically the combination of these two that we got from required 1. So basically it's just taking total dollar sales minus the fixed cost plus pre-tax will get you to the variable cost. Okay. Alright. Question 11. Cooper Company expects to sell about 250,000 units of its product next year, which would generate total sales of 22,500,000. Management predicts the pre-tax income for next year will be 1,300,000 and the contribution margin per unit will be $20. Complete the following below table to calculate next year's total expected variable cost and fixed cost. Yay! Alright, so again, sales, variable cost, this is going to be less, and fixed cost, again, less, and then income before taxes. Okay, so it already said sales would generate total sales of 22,500,000, but it doesn't give us the actual price. Okay, so we got to figure this out. So that being said, we'll just take 22,500. Well, that's probably a lot more zeros. How many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. So, and divide it by how many units we're going to sell. So 250. So this is about 90 units. $90 per unit. Sorry. And boom, matches. We're good. Okay. So our contributing margin's $20. Well, 90 minus 20, that's basically what, 70? And that should be correct. Okay. And so fixed cost in itself, let's see, it does not give us. So we know income before taxes will be 130,001. Okay. So next is just finding 5 million minus 1.3 million. So 5 million. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. Should be 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. 37. 3,700,000. So 3,700,000. Okay, check my work. Everything's correct. 11's done. Cool. Moving on to the next. We're almost there, guys. Almost. Okay. So R&R Tax Services offers tax and consulting service to individuals and small businesses. Data for fees and costs of 3 types of tax returns follow. R&R provides services in the ratio 4-3-3. Okay, easy, moderate, and business. Fixed costs total $20,155 for the tax season. Okay, so one thing I'll tell you already, 1040EZ, if you look at this tax season, is done. But for this problem, we're not in taxes. We're actually solving these, and this is our mix. Okay, so all we gotta do is put the fees charged, 38, 113, and 263. Okay, notice Connect's already basically putting in some numbers for us. All we really do is have to take 4 times whatever the fee charge is. This happens to be 4 times 38, which is 152. And once all these are in, of course we would have added them up, and Connect did that for us. So nice. Now we got to determine the variable cost, which was 24, 69, and 94. 24, 69, and 94. Okay, so here, again, 4 times 24 equals to 96. And again, it's totaled it up for us. So, contribute margin per composite unit. Again, this is our sales, or basically our fees, but it doesn't have fees right here. And our variable costs, and of course, it's always less. So, 1,280 minus 585 equals 695. Okay. And then break-even point in units. Again, is our fixed cost per unit divided by contribute margin per unit. And so fixed cost up here was 20,155 divided by our 695. Says we need to have 29 composite units. Okay, so last part is basically breaking it down. We times everything by 29. As you can see, Connect already filled it out. So 4 times 29 is 116. So for our composite in itself, we need to actually make our sell 116 1040 EZs, 87 moderate, and 87 business for a total of 290 units to basically break even. Okay, that's not so hard if we already know the ratio and Connect's already doing it for us, but we always need to know what we need to do, so your notes are good and helpful for that. You can go right to the sales mix if you need to. Next, the last 3 is a chain gang. Look at that, the chain gang's out. Woo woo. So that just means we're using the same numbers, and we're probably comparing since I got 2 products again. Alright, this is a good old sales mix. Alright. So Hinaco produces and sells two products, T and O. It manufactures these products in separate factories and markets them through different channels. They have no share cost. This year, the company sold 50,000 units of each product. Sales and costs are for each are below. Okay? So it gives us a contribute margin income statement, which is awesome. So what are we doing? Well, let's find out. Compute the break-even point in dollar sales for each product. Okay. So first we gotta do our contribute margin ratio, which again is total fixed cost divided by our contribute margin. Okay, again, this is the ratio. So total fixed cost for our product T was 125,000. Okay, so it does give us that number. The only numbers that it doesn't really give us is the actual contribute margin. Okay, here's the quick way of doing this. Instead of doing it through sales and variable costs, here's our contribute margin. Take that number and divide by 50,000 units. It's going to come out to the same number if we did the long way. So let's take 400,000 divided by 50 units, and it's 8. So 8. That's 8 units. My bad. This isn't dollar amounts. I don't know why I did units. Okay. Oh yeah, because it's expected sales minus blah blah. So basically here, if we do it this way, 400,000 divided by 200,000. Okay, my bad on that. I was actually trying to find the units, or the dollar per unit. I wasn't thinking clearly on that one. Alright, so let's take 400 divided by 2 million. It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's 20. Okay, I'm totally doing this off. We need to do this the long way, because apparently that's a lot that's trying to divide into to get the ratio. So again, let's go to our break-even formula. Maybe it's in closer to the end video, I'm just messing up because something doesn't look right. High low. Okay, we're doing contribute margin. Okay, let's figure out price per unit. Maybe I'm just off, but break even in itself is fixed cost price per unit minus variable cost per unit. Should be $8, but that's a lot. Okay, so let's just do it this way. 2 million, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, divide by 50,000. That's 40. And 1 million divided by 50. 32. Yeah, it's $8. Let's do contribute margin. We're doing contribute margin ratio. Oh, no wonder I'm doing it off. I'm thinking in the break-even form. Duh. That's me being not smart. So we were correct with $8 here. Except I put the wrong cells, and y'all probably already yelled at me for doing that. So this is 40. Okay, so it's 500%. Wow. Really? Check my work. No, I'm totally off. Why am I? Okay, my brain has gone. I'm sorry, people. Okay, it's contribute margin ratio is contribute margin divided by price per unit. I got this completely backwards. Alright, this tells you something when you finally hit the moment where you're probably instructing just a little bit long. So, I just ended up switching everything, and we should be incorrect 20%. And now it's telling my numbers are wrong. I just got turn the question. Okay. Contribute margin. We sold 50,000 units. Divide that into 2 million. Okay. Is $40. That's the amount of expected sales. And then sales and costs for each product follows. And I'm doing T. Sales is 40. Did I get 50,000 units? 1, 2, 3, 2 million. See, now I have to counter that because Connect's kind of going off here. Okay, unless they want the full amount. Let's see if they want just the full amount instead of price per unit. Let's go. Let's do it that way. And that's what they want. Okay, so I took a little bit longer route, so you're probably going to skip a little bit. But, I mean, I did it per unit. They just wanted the amount from it. Sorry. It happens. Either way. Break-even point in dollars. Look at here. Break-even in sales dollars is our fixed cost divided by our margin ratio. So, total fixed cost divided by our ratio, which this was the 125,000. So again, I kind of went a little bit ahead of myself trying to figure things out and kind of shot myself in the foot. So break-even points in dollars for product T is 625. I try to make it more complicated than what it was supposed to be. So again, product O, 1,750,000. Okay, sales was 2 million. And contribute margin ratio is way out there, but that's what it goes with. And its fixed cost was 1,475,000. And its ratio was 87.5. Check my work. Alright, everything's good with 13. I'm sorry about that, guys. Kind of went a little bit ahead and I switched, but we're back on track. Just what happens at times. Even brains tend to go down. Okay, so right now we got forecast. So let's go ahead and put in our actual stuff first. Sales, variable cost, fixed cost, and this should be income tax, our income loss before tax, and then last but not least, income tax, tax benefit. Alright, so assume that the company expects sales of each product to decline to 30,000 units next year with no change in unit selling price. Prepare forecasted financial results for next year following the format of the contribute margin income with the two products. Assume a 32% tax rate. Also assume that any loss before tax yields a 32% tax benefit. So we have 30,000 units. price per unit. Hey, this is what I actually had before. Okay, so price per unit, yes, didn't change. It started off with 50. So at least with product T, we knew exactly what it was. 40 bucks. Alright, 40, 32. So at least I didn't lose that part. I just ended up getting used it for product T in the next part. Hey, it works. Fixed cost is 125. I got 115,000 times that 32% of tax. Oh, that's a pretty big point. 36,800. Okay, so we're supposed to expect that about with product T. So product O, now we have to figure out the same thing. So 2 million again is just $40. So no effects right there, same sales point. Now we have 250,000 and divide by 50. Now, notice I'm not doing divide by 30 because the numbers above, again, are dealing with a 50,000 units to figure out their price per unit. Okay, down here we changed, but we're still basically having the same cost. They didn't say anything of the cost has changed. Okay, fixed cost was 1475. So this one actually has a loss going on. Still wants it to be times by 32%. So 425 times by 0.32. $136,000. Okay. Well, let's check my work, see if everything's good, and everything is good. Okay. So again, the price per unit is basically figuring out the price per unit up here, what 50,000 units or how many units. Then you get the 30,000 units later on. So me making my mistake in the first one, going to per unit base when actually it just wanted cost, helped me out already to figure out product T. Here all we had to do was the same thing for product O. Okay. So this one actually has a loss going on here with this one. Costs are a lot higher. This one, on the other hand, has an income. So this one we pay tax, this one we won't. Okay. Last question. Using the same info. We're going to now change it to 60,000 units. Again, no change in anything and still has the 32%. Okay. So again, filling out our stuff. Sales, variable cost, fixed cost right here, income before taxes, and income tax or tax benefit. This time it's 60,000 units as per this one, and it's using the same number, so we can actually go back to 14 and refill in these numbers. Not much stuff we have to do. So 40, 32, and 8. 40, 32, and 8. And O had 45 and 35. Okay, and then our fixed cost, 125. Okay, Our other one was 1750. Okay, so let's compute. Now all we gotta do is compute our income tax, our tax benefit. Well, both of them are income, so it's both going to be basically having a tax going on. So 355,123 times 0.32, 113,600. Okay, and the other one's just basically 5,000 off. So if you got an editable calculator, just edit out the 5 and make it 0, and we got 112,000. Cool. Next part is figuring out our net income. So 355,3 minus the 113,600 equals 241,400. Next, 350 minus 112 equals to 238,000. So in all, we made an income of 479,400, and we have paid tax about 225,000. Check my work. All of a sudden it says all those are wrong for O. Oh, I put in the wrong number. No wonder. 1475. That's what I get. Oy. Dang, I hate when I'm off like that. 1475. See, there's your mistakes that can happen. So 625. Knew that was a little bit too good. Times 0.32. That's 200,000. And that's actually 425. Okay, make sure, check. And there we go. I just happened to put in the wrong number. My eyes kind of deceived. I should have highlighted. But there we go. Alright, so that is it. Chapter 18 homework. So the adventure is now complete with Chapter 18. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. I apologize if I confused you a little bit in some areas. But that's it. So, this is your Professor Naragon signing off. Hopefully y'all have a great time and enjoy this adventure as it keeps on going.